ProWrestlingTees.com/616Entertainment is the home of all official 616 Entertainment merchandise. Pick up a shirt, you'll be glad you did. This video is also brought to you in part by the Patreon producers, without whom content like this would not be possible. Hey Dan-Dans, welcome to a very special episode of 616 Nitro. This week on the show, I'm going to rank all of the World Championship Wrestling video games from worst to best. Now right off the bat, let me tell you, there are 10 WCW video games in total, but I'm going to take WCW the main event on the Game Boy, and I'm going to disqualify it right off the bat. I've never played this game before, I never will play this game, most people have never played this game, so who gives a shit? WCW is where the big boys play, and on this episode, we're only dealing with the big boys. Well, let's get to it. Oh my goodness gracious, Dan-Dans. The bottom of the barrel is WCW Super Brawl Wrestling on the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. Many of you may have been expecting a certain game with no wrestling ring to take the bottom spot, but no. Super Brawl Wrestling sucks. The gameplay is garbage. The menus are garbage. The soundtrack is garbage. The referee counts to 10 for submissions. Every match is 3 falls, meaning best of 5 for some reason. And every match is falls count anywhere as well. Why? Who fucking knows? Don't bother with this one. Terrible. Number 8, WCW Nitro for the PlayStation, N64, and PC. Nitro feels like the natural progression of Super Brawl Wrestling, turning from a 16-bit waste of time and money to a 32-bit waste of time and money. Every wrestler has the exact same moveset. Yes, the Giant and Rey Mysterio both go for a Frankensteiner as long as you press the right button combination. The promos the wrestlers cut on the select screen are charming and memorable, but holy hell man, they don't make up for the massive letdown that this game is as a whole. Do you know how badly PlayStation gamers wanted a great WCW game in the wake of World Tour's release on the N64? And we got this shit? Ugh, a travesty. You know what's practically just as bad as Nitro? Its direct sequel, WCW NWO Thunder. It's the same fucking game. They added a battle royal and an extremely poor steel cage match, but what the fuck were they thinking with the test of strength? You press up circle and before you know it, you've drained 75% of your opponent's health in a matter of 5 seconds. Nothing about Thunder is better than Nitro. If I could put them both at number 8, I would, but somebody's gotta be number 7. And don't ask about the goddamn developers putting themselves in the game, or the mind-boggling unlockables like the goddamn Ghost, Grizzly Bear, Clown, Dude Man, or Uncle Monkey. I can't talk about this game anymore. I simply cannot. Coming in at number 6, we've got WCW Wrestling on the NES. We still haven't reached the, good WCW games. This one is passable. It's not bad for its time. Listen, this one came out on my birthday in 1989, meaning this game is a year older than I am. When we're factoring in the limitations, man, this one deserves some respect. The roster is a snapshot of late 80s WCW. We've got the Stinger, we've got the Road Warriors, Ric Flair looks kinda weird, but hey, again, it was 1989. Plus it's hilarious when your tag team partner flies out of the sky to break up pins in a tag match. You can't not be entertained by that, don't kid yourself. Oh my god, how does WCW Backstage Assault crack the top 5 of anything? I'll tell you how it cracks the top 5. Let's be brutally honest. This game is horrific. This game is my balls. The graphics? What happened here? The gameplay isn't any better either. But here's the thing. This game sucks so bad that it's awesome. It's terrifically bad. Watching the wrestlers slide around the environment because their feet aren't moving? Hilarious. Lighting dudes on fire? Fantastic. Plus, and this is one of my favorite phrases, we've got a snapshot of WCW from 2000 here. If you guys know anything about WCW in 2000, it was the dirt worst shit you've ever seen. And somehow, some way, EA were able to capture the dumpster fire that was WCW 2000 in video game form. It's not any better, it's not any worse, it's a perfect representation. You can argue my placement of this one, but seriously, I don't want the referee counting to 10 on submission attempts. I do, though, enjoy the thought of Sting versus Medusa in the women's shitter. One is funny, one isn't. That's about as far as this goes. Wowzers, Dan. Coming in at number 4 is WCW Mayhem. Maybe you played this one on PS1, maybe you played it on N64. Here's the deal. Despite being the predecessor to Backstage Assault, it looks better, it plays better, everything about it is better. Honestly, the commentary from Bobby Heenan and Tony Schiavone is really good. The opening cinematic with a factory-made Goldberg wrecking the dudes who created him, cool as fuck. I'm not gonna overhype it. The positives kind of end right here. But that's the thing, Dan. The mediocrity ends here. The majority of this list is super negative, but that stops now. Aki, man. Is there a more beloved wrestling game developer than the Aki Corporation? Coming in at number 3, I'm going to go with WCW vs. NWO World Tour on the Nintendo 64. Right in the opener, we've got Sting descending from the rafters. We've got Kevin Nash nailing the jackknife powerbomb. This shit is sick. And it only gets better when you start your first match. Weak grapples and strong grapples, man. This is where we all experienced it for the first time. Busting your opponent wide open? Amazing. If you don't have good memories of this one, it's because you never played it. There are people who swear this is number 1, and that's fine for your list. You're entitled to that. But there's really no arguing the game's overall quality, and that's the important part. I think this might be the most controversial ranking on my list. WCW vs. the World claims the number 2 spot for me, and I'm going to be extremely transparent about this. I rank it over the fantastic World Tour based mostly on my own personal nostalgia. I had a PlayStation growing up, and guys, I remember unwrapping this game on Christmas morning. I remember being blown away by the cover art. Creating my own championship and putting it against my friend's championship? Get out of here, dude. The soundtrack to Versus the World is out of control, and I can't even begin to explain how many wrestlers I learned about for the first time through this game. I had no idea I was playing as Boss Rutan and Ken Shamrock, you know? Revisiting this one can be rough at first. It was 1995 after all, but don't get it twisted. WCW vs. the World is still a top-tier wrestling game experience. And coming in at number 1, the greatest WCW video game of all time, WCW NWO Revenge, exclusive to the Nintendo 64. You all knew this was number 1. It had to be. There's really no way around it. Revenge is the perfect, and I mean perfect, encapsulation of World Championship Wrestling in 1998. DDP, the NWO Wolfpack, the big gold belt with NWO spray painted on it. Don't kid yourself. The opening cinematic of Sting standing in front of the flaming gravestones as lightning strikes. These images are tattooed on our brains. But above all else, above the aesthetics of the game or the cool little details, this was one of the games during a 1990s sleepover. 4 controllers, battle royals, staying up way too late, eating a bunch of shit you can't get away with in regards to your metabolism today. Don't play, man. Revenge is one of those games you will never, ever forget. I know I certainly won't. I treasure the memories I have tied to this game, Dan, and I mean that with every fiber of my being. Number 1, WCW NWO Revenge. Without a doubt. Oh man. It's always a big deal to do a list like this because you never know who's going to agree with you and you never know who's going to get really angry about your opinions. So I'm really looking forward to seeing your rankings in the comments below. I want to know who lines up with me. I want to know who thinks I'm completely insane. It'll be fun to go through the comments and find out how we all jive together or if we do it all. Dan, this was a special episode of 616 Nitro. I hope you had fun with it. I had fun making it. Until next time, I love ya. And I will see you later. I did it again where I already say next time. You'd think I would have my outro nailed down by now.